What's up, travellers? Welcome back to the channel. SJ Aviation HQ here. Welcome back to the channel today. Today we have the model review of the Scandinavian Airlines Airbus A350-900 released by JC Wings. This one here released in their June 2025 release and was the first model release of this Scandinavian Airlines 350 wearing the SkyTeam logo. Before anything else though, go ahead and leave a thumbs up below, great indication of how much you enjoyed today's video and of course the content here on this channel. Whilst you're there, subscribe to the channel below and get the notification bell on. Set the notifications to all so you can receive all of the notifications as soon as new videos go live here on the channel, including the next model review that should be coming up soon of the French B Aero Polaris release of the A350-1000. That one should be the first of its kind in terms of the Aero Polaris models on this channel. Want to go ahead and check out the unboxing of that model, and of course the one that we're seeing in today's video. Check out the mega unboxing top right corner right about now. Go ahead and check that out if you wish to. If you did miss out on the card, the associated link will be in the description in below the video, of course. So I'm aware that some aren't a fan of this long form content in terms of what I do with these model reviews. I like to keep these model reviews as a long form kind of educational type video for those that are new to either the aviation industry and of course the hobby of model collecting. If you aren't too aware of the way an aircraft operates, you're in the right place because you're about to learn some information about the Airbus A350-900 specifically. And of course, if you are a fan of this long form content, drop a thumbs up below and comment if you are, and I'll get some more of this sort of content out in the future. So going into some information about this airline for Scandinavian Airlines, and then some information about the particular airframe that we're looking at today. So founded on August the 1st of 1946, Scandinavian Airlines is the joint flag carrier of airline of Denmark, Norway and Sweden, with airport hubs in Copenhagen in Denmark, Oslo in Norway and Stockholm Arlanda in Sweden. Scandinavian Airlines is part of the SAS Group, a Swedish-based airline holding company, which also owns SAS Link and SAS Connect. According to planespotters.net, Scandinavian Airlines has a fleet consisting of 136 aircraft, including 7 ATR 72-600s, 4 A319-100s, 3 A320-200s, 78 A320neos, 3 A321neos that of course be in the LR variant, 8 A330-300s, 5 A350-900s, 1 737-700 which I believe was just retired, and 12 CRJ-900s and 12 Embraer ERJ-195s, all with a combined average age of 8.6 years. SAS Scandinavian Airlines was one of the 5 founding members of the Star Alliance, which it left on August the 31st of 2024 and joined the SkyTeam Alliance on September the 1st of 2024, which of course was the following day. So going into some information about this particular airframe for you guys now. This aircraft here has the MSN number of 499, which means this aircraft here, specifically this airframe, was the 499th Airbus 350 to roll out off the production line for Airbus. This aircraft here is a 5-year-old Airbus 350-900, particularly a 900-41, because 41 is the Airbus designated code for Airbus built aircraft that are equipped with Rolls-Royce engines, of course. This aircraft performed its first flight on April the 29th of 2021, wearing the test registration of Foxtrot-Whiskey Zulu Golf Quebec. For those that aren't too familiar with the phonetic alphabet, that will be pronounced as F-WZGQ. This aircraft here was built and produced in Toulouse, France. Of course, Toulouse is where the main factory or plant or production lines are for Airbus, especially for their wide-body aircraft. They do have the Hamburg plant up in Germany, of course, but that's mainly for their narrow-body aircraft, such as the A321 Neo family, the original Neo, the LR, and of course the XLR. The Toulouse plant is basically mainly for their wide bodies, but they do have the 320neo family production line there as well. Fun fact for those that aren't up to the play in terms of this fact, ATR, Airbus do share the facilities with ATR as well for the turboprops, of course, ATR 72s and 42s, of course. This aircraft here is active on their network for Scandinavian Airlines. We're in the registration of Sierra Echo-Romeo Sierra Golf, or SE-RSF. Again, an A350-900. This aircraft here was delivered to Scandinavian Airlines on June the 22nd of 2021. This aircraft here is equipped with two Rolls-Royce Trent XWB-84 engines, of course different to the 1000. Of course the 350-1000s are equipped with the XWB-97 engines, of course. This aircraft here has the nickname Hjalmar Viking and was ferried between Toulouse and France and Copenhagen in Denmark on June the 23rd of 2021 on its delivery flight, of course 1 day after it was officially delivered to the airline. So with that information out of the way, let's go ahead and check out this box. So just like every other JC Wings box you see nowadays, or released nowadays, we have the Scandinavian Airlines logo here with the SkyTeam logo just here. On the top right of the box, we can see the SkyTeam logo to the left, and here we have where it says Hjalmar Viking, and then we have up here the top third of the flags. Of course, here we have Norway, Sweden and Denmark. These are all seen on the aircraft. Here we have the Airbus logo just here, and here we have the Airbus logo or typeface here. Here we have the Scandinavian Airlines logo just here, very nicely done there. Of course, Scandinavian, or SAS, is abbreviated as Scandinavian Airlines System, I believe. Here we have the Airbus A350-900 designated typeface here, with the 2D rendering of the aircraft itself. Apologies for the sun just shining onto the box there. And you can just see those flags just there, very nice. Here we have the A350 typeface here, and of course below that where it states that this is a die-cast aircraft model and 1:400 scale there, of course. On the bottom panel, if I can get a focus on it, there you go, there we have the SAS Scandinavian Airlines logo just there, and of course the SkyTeam logo to the right of that. Die-cast aircraft model in 1:400 scale, the 2D rendering of the aircraft again, the flags and the aircraft's nickname, the barcode, the aircraft's designated titles and the registration. On this side it's pretty much the same, very nice, identical on the top of the box, and then identical on this side as well. On the back of the box we have some differences here. The main differences is what I'll be showing you in this particular part of the box. Here we have the side view of the aircraft, and then the top view of the aircraft looking quite nice. And then here we have the Scandinavian Airlines logo again. Then here in the center middle of the bottom of the box we have the specific specifications of the A350-900 in the metric unit of measurement. You have, if you mainly use the imperial measurement, you know, inches and stuff like that, you'll have to convert this into that measurement or unit of measurement there. Very nicely done there. And of course we have the die-cast aircraft model and the 1:400 scale details here, and of course the warning information in multiple languages, and where the model was made, of course, in China. Of course, JC Wings, one of the multiple Chinese brands seen in the market in terms of the hobby of model collecting. Let me know what you thought about the May release for JC Wings. Quite a few goodies in that release, in my opinion anyway. such as the Scandinavian Airlines 80th anniversary livery on the A330-300. I might have to go and pick that up very soon indeed. That is, unless NG Models goes ahead and releases it themselves. Also, they released the All Nippon Airways 777-9X, both with the folded up wingtips and of course the flat wingtips as well. If you did miss out on the All Nippon Airways model review I did of the 777-300ER released by Aviation Finder, check it out, top right corner right about now. But let me know what you thought about that JC Wings release, and what you're going to be getting from that. That is this portion done for you guys. The reading out of the airline's details, the information about the aircraft, and the showcasing of the box. Let's go ahead and check out the model. And here is the absolutely stunning Scandinavian Airlines Airbus A350-900 released by JC Wings in their June 2025 release. Now in this portion of the video I'm going to showcase the model up close to the camera for you guys, giving you some nice up close shots of the details on this model, giving you some insights about what some of the components do in the event of a flight. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the model. First of all, zooming right into the model and getting it up close to the camera for you guys. I must give a quick apology if there's quite a few focusing issues within this video, and of course if there's any condensation seen on the model throughout this piece of the video. But have a look at this. It is such a stunning aircraft. When I first saw that JC Wings went ahead and released this model, I wasn't expecting it to look so good, you know, especially with the way that JC Wings usually does their 350s or have done in the past. This one is quite nice, so I definitely will go ahead and get some more 350s, or at least some more models from JC Wings in the near future. So here we have the front part of the model, known as the cockpit area of the aircraft. In the middle of the shot you can make out the nose cone. Underneath that is a component called the weather radar. Now the weather radar has the purpose to detect storms along the flight path of a given flight, to give the pilots a visual indication of the rainfall intensity ahead of them, and also the possibility of turbulence as well. This enables them to navigate around any potential hazardous areas along the assigned flight plan they've assigned for the flight, of course. Very nicely done there. And let's just get another wee focus there of the cockpit windows, looking rather nice indeed. As you can see, bordered by the raccoon mask. Of course, the 350 family was the aircraft that first introduced the raccoon mask to the aviation industry. The raccoon mask is there to deflect any heat away from the perimeter of the window shields for the cockpit windows. Very nicely done, and I must say the bandit mask does look fantastic on the 350. Now seen on the 330 Neo family, the 320 Neo family, that of course the 319 Neo, 320 family, and of course the 321 family as well. Of course, up to the option, you know, it's an option for the airlines whether they want to put it on their 320 Neo family, etc. But on the 350 it is seen on all of them. Same with the 330 Neo family. It's even seen on some of the Boeing aircraft as well, such as the 787 fleet for Riyadh Air, that's an upcoming airline, and also the entire fleet, no matter what aircraft it is, for in the Air Canada fleet, of course. Very cool indeed. Now here we have in the middle of the shot there, if I can just get it in to the shot and give it a focus there. In the middle of the shot we can make out the icing vent, that of course is there to give the pilots an indication of the ice buildup on the aircraft, so that the automated systems can combat the ice buildup on any of the important parts of the aircraft. Here we have the nickname and of course the flags from left to right, Norway, Sweden and Denmark there, and the nickname of the aircraft, which of course is pronounced as the Hjalmar Viking. Very cool indeed. Here we have some pitot tubes and also the AOA sensor there. Now the pitot tubes are there to measure fluid flow velocity during the event of a flight, and of course the AOA sensor, or the angle of attack sensor, offers a visual indication of the amount of lift the wings are generating at a given airspeed or angle of bank. Very cool indeed. Here we have the SkyTeam logo. As I mentioned, Scandinavian Airlines was one of the founding members of the Star Alliance, but of course it left the Star Alliance on August the 31st of 2024 and joined the SkyTeam Alliance on the next day, that of course being September 1st 2024. Of course, very nicely done. And here we have the nose gear of the aircraft, as I can just see some condensation on the bottom of the aircraft there, my bad there. But here we have the nose gear, as you can see, rolling gears in this model. There on the nose gear door we can see Romeo, Sierra, Foxtrot, or RSF. They are the last 3 digits of this aircraft registration. Here we have the first of the cabin doors. This is the L1 boarding door. All of the doors on this side of the aircraft are known as the L doors, being the L in L1, L2 representing that this is the left hand side of the aircraft, opposite side of course being the right side. So very nice. The other boarding door is just here, and in between them we have the large SAS titles there. Nice that JC Wings went ahead and made them seeable, because on the 1:1 scale of the aircraft these titles are very hard to see, especially when plane spotting. So it's nice that the model brands have gone ahead and made them visible, of course. Now here we have at the end of the A, and of course the beginning of the lower part of the S, here we have the pitot static system. This is used to determine an aircraft's airspeed, Mach number, altitude and altitude trend during the event of a flight. And then below that we can see the first of the antenna. On the top of the aircraft we can see the beacon light. Unlike the beacon light seen on Aviation 400 models, this is just a painted red dot there. Of course the beacon light is, especially on the 350 family, is the LED beacon lights there, the bright red beacon lights. They are a warning device for people on the ground near the aircraft, you know, the ground crew that are about to service the aircraft, whether to give them the sense or representation whether it is safe or not to approach the aircraft. Very cool indeed, much like a traffic light for road users in a car. Of course the stop light is an indication whether it is safe or not to cross the intersection. Same for a beacon light, but the sense to whether it is the aircraft is safe to approach. Here we have the first of the antenna on top of the fuselage this time. Very nice. Now here somewhere on this portion of the model, I don't think it's on the model, let me just have a look to the naked eye. I don't think it is, but we should see on the 1:1 scale that somewhere in this portion of the aircraft there should be a wing light that illuminates the leading edge of the wing here and the intake of the engine when during night conditions, and of course low light conditions, and of course foggy conditions as well. Very cool. Here we have the mounted wing landing light into the wing just here. Let me try and get it more up close to the camera. Seems it doesn't like to be up close, but here we have a good focusing of what I'm trying to get focused. There we go. This is, as I mentioned, the mounted landing light into the wing. Of course the other one would be in the nose gear strut. Of course, now the requirement for this is between 0 and 10,000 feet. This is supposed to be turned on or kept on. Above the 10,000 feet threshold, it is up to the pilot's discretion whether they want to turn it off or not. Very cool. This wing light here, or landing light, is one of the last things you see when the aircraft is about to depart off the active runway, and also seen when landing into an active runway as well. So very nicely done there. Here we have this side's number 1 XWB-84 engine for this 350-900. Rather nice indeed. Not too much of a fan of the glittering effect on the nacelle. Do kind of wish they had kept it as this sort of colour, but it does the job. Here we have the titles for Scandinavian Airlines, of course. Now, I didn't pick it out in my most recent videos, but here we have what's known as the vortex generator in the inboard part of the engine here. Now, this is used. The purpose of this is to deflect any airflow against the leading edge of the wing directly behind the engine there. This is what generates, hence the name vortex generator. It's what generates the vortex vapor trail that goes over top of the wing when the aircraft is rotating out of an airport, of course. Very nicely done. Let's just have a brief look of the interior there. Looking rather nice, if I say so myself. Here we have the leading edge of the wing here. These are known as the slats. Very nice. These fold forward in the event of a takeoff to help out with the lift of the wings, of course. They're very nice there. Here we have at the end of the wing, I'll show you the sharklet in a moment, but right in the middle of the shot, if I can get a focus on it for you guys. Having quite some trouble. Let me try and focus on the wing again. Oh well. But here in this portion of the wing anyway, as I am trying my best in terms of the focusing on it. But here would be the strobe lights. You can just make them out now if I hold them away from the camera there. These are the white strobe lights. They flash twice in sequence on an Airbus aircraft, often seen or as mandatory for the strobe lights to be on during the event of a flight, whether it's airborne, and also seen when crossing an active runway. And to the right, left of them, we can see the red navigation light. Try and get a better focus of the strobe lights nearer to the end of the video in terms of the opposite side. But here is the sharklet of the aircraft, this being the second generation of the sharklet, of course. Doesn't want to focus on them, but here is the interior of the sharklet here, and if I can get it to focus on the bottom part of it, you can kind of make it out there. Very cool. Now here is the trailing edge of the wing with multiple different sections that help with the event of flight. Little bit of a mark on the wing. Let's just wipe that off. Now here we have the spoilers of the wing just here. Now these when as soon as the landing gears touch down on the runway when landing, these fold up to provide assistance with the slowing down of the aircraft, especially when the spoilers are armed, of course. When they're armed, they kind of when these whilst descending into a runway, these are usually set at a somewhat of an angle to help with the descent of the aircraft. And of course, when their arms, they're completely flat on the wing surface, and then fold up, as I mentioned, to help with the deceleration. And of course, these engines would have a thrust reversers as well, so there's a door that folds open that provides a gap in the nacelle to help the airflow escape the engine there. Here we have the flaps of the wing below them. Of course, just here, these fold backwards when in a takeoff configuration, and also in a landing configuration as well. Very nicely done. And just here are the ailerons. These provide the yaw. I think it's the yaw of the aircraft, whether it is going tilting this way or that way, of course. And let's have a brief look at the landing gear of this aircraft here for you guys. As you can see, just like every other JC Wings model, these days they roll in and tilt on the axis quite freely. Here is the other one. Very cool. Here we have the L3 door, mainly an overwing exit, or at least an emergency exit door. Here we have the antenna on top of the fuselage, just there. On the top of the fuselage, we see the SATCOM or Wi-Fi dome. This provides the IFE or in-flight entertainment on board the aircraft. Of course, the little seat TVs behind each of the seats. And then we have the last of the antenna on the top of the fuselage there. Here we have those flags again from left to right again. Norway, Sweden and Denmark, and below that, but directly below the cabin windows underneath the Norwegian flag, there we have Sierra Echo Romeo Sierra Foxtrot, or SE-RSF, of course the registration of the aircraft. And here we have the Lima 4 door on this A350-900. Of course, it could be used as a boarding door or a door for the passengers to disembark from when this aircraft is parked at a remote stand via the air stairs, of course, to give them assistance to board the little buses that take them to the main terminals. Just below here we see a small cargo compartment just here, but the cargo compartments are mainly on the opposite side. Here we have the tail fin of the aircraft. This particular livery was introduced on the A350. Can't quite remember what date it was, but I'll put the information in the bottom of the screen now for you guys. Having some great difficulty in terms of focusing on the tail fin, but you can see it anyway, looking quite nice there. Here we have at the backward part of the tail fin, we have the rudder. This provides the inputs from left to right, of course, often seen when the aircraft is landing into an active runway or departing from an active runway, so the pilot can keep the aircraft on the center line. You can probably just make it out if I can get it to focus. You can probably just make out the small silver-like dot on the tail fin. Trying to get it to focus. You can kind of see it there in the middle of the shot. That is the tail camera, the mounted camera on the tail fin. That of course provides the scenes you see on the TVs when you're looking at the camera input. There's also another one that should be below the aircraft. Very cool. And here we have the elevators of the aircraft. I'm not too sure if they are on the aircraft or elevators or not, but there should be some small dots on either of them. They would be the tail lights or the logo lights. They light up the tail fin during night conditions and of course the low light conditions to provide identification to anyone who is in a control tower about who the operator of the airline is, or the aircraft. That of course in this case would be Scandinavian Airlines. Also could be a marking tool for anyone within the perimeter of an airport, of course, ground crew, passengers within the terminal buildings, etc., and of course people outside the perimeter of the airport's fences, of course, to provide either the sense of them wanting to fly the aircraft or airline, or provide assistance for plane spotting, of course. Very nice. And then here we have at the trailing edge of the elevators, we have this part here that provides the up and down movement of the aircraft. When zooming down the runway, going past its V1 speed, the pilots would pull back on the throttles of this aircraft, or this, in this case, the side stick being an aircraft, an Airbus aircraft. This would force this part of the tailplane or elevators to rise upwards, giving the leeway to the back of the aircraft to go downwards, and then that would help the wings provide the lift, of course. Here we have the black outline of where the APU inlet door is. That opens up to help the air from the APU escape, of course. And of course this opens up when the engines are in the event of starting up, of course. Very nicely done there. And at the rear of the aircraft, if I can get it to focus, don't know why I'm having such difficulty in terms of focusing in this video, but you can just make out the exhaust of the APU, with APU standing for auxiliary power unit, of course. An additional engine on board the aircraft. Let's have a wee look at the opposite side of the aircraft, and then we'll go to the bottom side. And the only main differences on this side of the aircraft is that here we have a this is a baggage compartment door at the front of the aircraft. At the rear we have a rear baggage compartment just here, and then on the outer part of the wing, if I can get this one to focus, we have those strobe lights, and to the left of that we see with the green navigation light there. Very nicely done. And then on this side we have the emergency escape hatch on the top of the cockpit. This provides an evacuation or easy access to evacuating the aircraft for the pilots, of course. Very nicely done there. Not much else is really that different on this side of the aircraft. Everything else is pretty much just flipped around, apart from the flags, of course. Very nicely done. Let's have a look at the bottom side of the aircraft momentarily. Here we have the nose gear door. This would fold open to allow the landing gear either fold into the belly when retracting, or extending from when approaching an airport, of course. Very nice. Here we have some air vents on either side of the C of Scandinavian, and there we have the Scandinavian billboard titles there for Scandinavian Airlines, of course, seen on most of the aircraft these days. No matter what airline it is, they seem to have belly titles, of course. Here we have the beacon light in between the N and the D of Scandinavian there, the stand hole for where the I is, the outline of the landing gear doors, the underside details of the engine. If I say so myself, it's not that detailed, unlike AV400, of course, or NG models. Here we have the underside of the wing, looking rather nice, and the upside down version of the sharklet. On this side of the wing we can see the registration Sierra Echo Romeo Sierra Golf, and there should be a red outline for where the ram air turbine is. the Romeo turbine, or otherwise known as the RAT, the small propeller-like device that folds out beneath the fuselage to provide some electrical assistance to the engines where need be, of course. And then right at the pointy end of the rear of the aircraft, we can see the access way to the APUs, the APU, an auxiliary engine on board the aircraft, located just in between the two elevators here. These fold out, these APU doors here, or access way doors, fold out to provide an access to the ground, to the APU for the ground engineers, of course. So an overall fantastic model for anyone's collection, whether you are based in Scandinavia, especially the likes of either Denmark, Norway or Sweden. Of course, that's where this airline is based in, or those that are based in an airport where Scandinavian operates their 350s. Whereas me being based in New Zealand, there's probably not much of a use for me to have it, but since I am quite a collector that has quite an extensive international collection in terms of airlines, and of course my airport is a fictional airport as well, so I thought I may as well go ahead and get it. I do like to think that Scandinavian Airlines is somewhat of a second flag carrier for me, of course that those that don't know, I do have Danish heritage. So Scandinavian Airlines being the flag carrier of Denmark, somewhat of a unofficial second flag carrier, but of course I am from New Zealand, so New Zealand will always be my flag carrier, and I'm very proud to say that, of course. So this is the video for you guys. Thank you very much for coming along and tuning into today's video of the model review of the Scandinavian Airlines 350-900 released by JC Wings in their June 2025 release. If you enjoyed what you saw in today's video, go ahead and drop a thumbs up below. Great indication of how much you enjoyed today's video and of course the content here on this channel. If you want to come along and support me even further, go ahead and subscribe to the channel below, and of course get the notification bell on. Set the option to all to receive all the notifications as soon as new videos go live here on the channel. Live streams are coming out very soon, leading up to the next airport update, which of course will be Random Ops number 12. Come along and tune into those live streams. The information will be out either in my community tab or on Instagram very soon enough, in terms of the advertisement for when the first part of the next live stream episode will be. So if you want to go ahead and check out my Instagram page, go ahead and scan the QR code you can see on the screen now. It will lead you straight to my Instagram page for easier access, or you can go ahead and scan the QR code you can see on the screen now. It'll lead you straight to my Linktree page for all of my social links in one full place. But of course, if you don't have any means to scan any of those QR codes, there are additional links in the description below, at the top of the description below in fact, for easier access to those accounts. So come along and support me on those accounts if you wish to. I'll leave any of your thoughts in the comment section below about what I can improve in these videos. Do you like the model? Do you like the mold? Leave any thoughts in the comment section below, and of course share this video to anyone who may benefit from this video, of course. Now, if you like this video and you want to see some more on this channel just like this, go ahead and see the options on the end screen soon enough. On the left hand side will be my most recent video here on this channel. On the right hand side will be the full playlist of model reviews seen here on this channel. In the middle will be where you can subscribe. But until next time guys, fly safe, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.